That's right back, Charlie. That's right.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. Are we live? Of course we're live. Happy New Year. Happy 2025 to you and your loved ones. I hope 2024 was good and I hope 2025 was better. And if it wasn't great, then we're all here in it, people. So appreciative to you lot tuned in. Of course, you know, some of you actually at me all the time and say, people deluded, I'm back again. Someone said that yesterday actually in the party. But anywho, people, I hope you're doing well and safe. Happy New Year. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. Appreciative to you lot that support the platform and have been doing it through 2024, and hopefully you continue in 2025, man. Let's get to 70k, people. Now today's a big day for Arsenal, isn't it? Obviously we're going to be doing a watch along for Brentford versus Arsenal. It's an evening fixture. Brentford's a fantastic football club, let alone team. They've got a great manager. Looking out on my window now, great way to start 2025 once again. It is pee in buckets if you're in the United Kingdom. If you're not and you're somewhere tropical, big up yourselves, people. So yeah, man, I hope you're doing well and safe, man. This was a great game. What do you mean? What do you mean this was a great game? What do you mean? Anywho, man, Abdullah, again, I appreciate your support. You're in all the comments. Happy New Year to you, Deluded Goon. I hope you have a blessed 2025 and Arsenal can give us something to cheer about by winning major trophies. Boy, man, I hope so as well, my guys. Easier said than done, man. But we pray, we hope, we pray, and we work, man. Obviously, we come into 2025 with it all to do, really and truly. We need Liverpool to drop points. We all know we need to act in the transfer market. We're going to get into all them isms and schisms in a second. We need to win games. This week is mad for us. I'm not going to lie to you, my guy. Like, this week is absolutely mad for us. We have Brentford away, Brighton away. In fact, January is mad because we got no Saka. Other players need to stand up to be counted. But even with Saka, as much as he's a star boy, Brentford, Brighton, North London Derby, Aston Villa, Manchester United in the FA Cup, magic of the FA Cup. It's not really, you know, you see Manchester United, it's not what it used to be in it. But yeah, Kay, appreciative to you. Before I went out last night, I obviously saw the Daily Mail and all of them kind of guys come out with the transfer news and stuff. And I mean, you lot can disagree, football's subjective, but surely we need to act in the market, you know. Obviously, sorry. Feeling a bit dehydrated, but even with Bukayo Saka, we needed a wide man or a striker or an inside forward and maybe a midfielder. Of course, with Saka's injury and the lengthy layoff, that has probably shifted the focus or shifted the priority to simply we need a winger in it because, you know, Raheem Sterling, Martinelli, Trossard, Kai Havertz. I'm missing someone. Jesus. They're not bad players, but it doesn't necessarily fill you with confidence, especially when you have Bukayo Saka. 100% we're live, Riley. Big up yourself, man. Another regular. K, if I didn't say that, big up yourself. Our bench worries me. We need to work in the market quickly. Could be over by the 31st of Jan. Happy New Year, Rob. I can't lie to you, John. You're right. We do need to act. We do need to act in the market. But at the same time, I think pardon me, if it was up to me and, you know, pardon me, if it was up to me and it's easier said than done, for me, we're getting some sort of option that can compete and deputize for Bukayo Saka. We're getting a number 8. We're getting a striker. We're probably getting another defender. And we're sorting out what we need to sort out in terms of goalies. Even in that, people, because I saw just in the what do you call it, man? What would I call it, bro? This is why you shouldn't drink alcohol, because my thought process is moving all mad. In the bro, I'm moving mad. In the quest, I would say, to give you lot, you know, make sure we don't miss anything. When I was in the party, I saw some other Arsenal related news, so I'm just messaging it to myself, and we'll see it on screen in a second, man. And there's actually an interesting thing as well, which could impact how Arsenal maneuver, particularly in the loan market, man. We need both a winger and striker this window, or else we're going to suffer. It's true. But it all depends on the profile. Like some of you that are old enough to remember and beyond that, yeah, if we go and get an Adebayor at Monaco, an emerging talent, fair play. And we didn't get any of the following players, but once upon a time, we did try and sign Caicedo, Vlahovic, Mudryk. Now, of course, thank our lucky stars, Mudryk didn't happen. And like I said, we didn't get none of those players. But if you remember, for all three of those names mentioned, we was prepared to put the money down. So it can be done if it makes sense. But January is a difficult time, man. As I said, for me, we just need to find someone that can deputize for Bukayo Saka and compete, man. That it could save our season. And I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record. And I'm sure you lot are the same. But at the end of the day, I feel a lot of the issues that we have at this club are indirectly self-inflicted, if I'm honest with you. Of course, I'm not saying Arteta or any of the coaching staff or the players have caused injuries on purpose or whatever, but we all know we've got a small squad. It's 2025, the last week of 2024. What did Mikel Arteta say? We have one of the smallest squads in the league. What did he say in January of 2024? Has that changed? Have we not had the conversations about what if we're missing? What happens if we miss out on if Odegaard's injured, if Saka's injured, if Ben White's injured, if this one and that one? You know, have we not said we've got a tiny squad? Last season, we should have thanked our lucky stars. We still had some significant injuries. Timber was gone. Tomiyasu and Partey came back towards the end. But we knew we had a relative clean kind of break with injuries. We should have learned our lessons and simply put had a stronger squad. Because at the face of it in 2025, whether I believe we're going to win the Premier League, the Champions League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, or all of them, or one of them, at the end of the day, we're still in it. We're still in it. We might not be optimistic, but we're still in it. Do we necessarily have a squad the size to be able to do that? Now, January is difficult to do business, as we all know, because everybody knows it's a reactive market. It's down to, if you can find, like I said, if you can find those emerging talents and non-profiles, then that's a bit of an exception. But for household or relative household names, as you know, people don't want to sell their good players. You don't want to, unless it's an offer you can't refuse. And that's another debate, whether Arsenal are going to put the money down or not. People don't want to sell their best players. So as much as I would, love making content with you lot and talking about and things like that, when you see Kudus, Cunha, Lookman, Nico Williams, insert any name here, people, really, do we really see their club selling them? So you either have to overpay, you have to rely on people's contracts running down, or you have to pull a rabbit out the hat. And it's already a tough arts. And Mikel Arteta has typically played quite coy on the January market. We don't really act in the January market. I know we have signed people, but we're going to have to make it happen, because if we don't, and I know the club have shown before that they won't necessarily act in the market if they don't feel it's possible or makes sense. I want to be wrong. I hope the league is like Mighty Ducks and Coach Carter, where Saka's injury, we go and batter every team with a weakened squad, right? But for me, as an honest Arsenal fan, even with Saka, it's mad. For me, with Saka, if Saka could be back in February, great. But, some guys extreme to say March, April. The season could be won or lost. And I don't think we can do it without Bukayo Saka. And naturally, as you lot know, when you've got injuries, the players that are fit, you're kind of quote unquote running them into the ground, really. So I think a lot of our issues around open play goals, around creativity, about squad depth, around the size of the squad, insert whatever have you, we didn't learn this in the 17, 18, 19 Premier League games that we've played so far this season. We didn't learn this. This is something Arsenal fans, some things have been saying for years. So I don't know, man, but we do need that, man. We do need that. Rob, right back at you. Happy New Year. Let's say happy birthday, my dude. Happy New Year, DG. More blessings 2025. Have you seen the Nkunku rumors? Yes, I have. We're going to get into that. I just hope we can secure a good attacker who can come and drop a minimum 20 GA this side of the season, bro. I would love that as well, Cass, man, but surely we're dream chasing. Like, realistically, even if we get half of that, that'll make the world a difference. It's always next year of Arsenal. So happy next year. All fans want us to fill those number 14 and 10 shirts with ballers, but I'm so skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, Arthur, man. It kills me to say it, and it kills me to agree with Patrice Evra, but you are right. It's always next season. And completely off topic, people. The festive period is kind of tough for me because I've lost a lot of loved ones, and I just want to say, Granddad, RIP yourself, man, because you're born on January the 1st, man. Love you, miss you, fly high, my dude, my Beijing king. But yeah, anywho, what's your front three for Brentford? For me, it's Jesus, Havertz, Martinelli. Yeah, part of me wants to blood Ethan out there, man. part of me, we're gonna get into the press conference, but if Sterling's no, Sterling wouldn't even be. Yeah, we ain't got nothing else. Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli. I hear it. Martinelli on the right. Some would argue, you know, against Crystal Palace, he looked a bit better. Of course, Kai Havertz is playing through the middle, but do you get Trossard in there, or do you leave Trossard on the bench? It's sad to refer to him as a super sub, but he does present you with that kind of aspect, man. Just seen on Google, Calafiori shared the training ground after acts. Not sure what that means, but okay. Anyone that thinks we're going to be active and effective in this market, in this window, then we're going to have a lot more deluded Gooners. Mike, we hope and pray, man. Gooner, appreciate you. Hope it's a blessed and peaceful 2025 to you, man. And that's such a nice message. Thank you for bringing content of the highest order. Continue to strive for greatness in this year and beyond. Comments like that, we got no choice, man, dude. We've got no choice. We need to give Ethan a chance on the right. I think he'll get his chance, but I think when you look at Mikel Arteta, obviously age is a bit irrelevant to a degree because Lewis Skelly's come on against Liverpool and City over more experienced players than him. You know, he's grabbed that left back spot, but I think generally, I'd say MLS is probably an exception to the rule. Rightly or wrongly, it kind of, for me, I think one of Arteta's default is to kind of find some sort of hierarchy with the experienced kind of players. So I don't really feel Ethan's going to get a sustained run on the right-hand side. I would love it. He definitely going to get minutes. He definitely needs to, and it's part of his education. But I genuinely think the Raheem Sterlings, the Martinellis, the Trossards, the Jesuses, these are the ones. A part of me thinks Martinelli will go on the right. But I genuinely believe, if we was playing, I don't know, Liverpool today instead of Brentford or City or something, personally, smash the like button, by the way, people. I think he would play them kind of games. I think he'll put Jesus on the right, because even last season, Saka missed. I'm sure Saka missed City at the Emirates and Jesus played there. And obviously, history won't be kind. Jesus never got no goals or assists or done anything crazy, but he had a decent little shift there. I know I'm dream chasing, but for me, I hope if Sterling gets an opportunity second half of the season, he becomes the guy. I hope Ethan takes his opportunity and runs. And I hope the fringe players, let's be honest, there's question marks over Martinelli, Jesus, Trossard, all of these guys. Hope they can step up, man. John, Happy New Year right back at you. Still don't think we should sign anyone. Keep the powder dry. Boy, I hear you, but keep the powder dry for what? Because then surely the season's a write-off. Jesus is on form. He can't be moved from striker. I mean, he can, but I hear you. You don't want too many moving parts. I think we need to keep giving Jesus time until he gives us an excuse not to take as much as we can from his form. Tipsy, bang on the money, a bit like what Boy's saying, and I agree. Like, you kind of just got to run on it, but at the same time, we're down to our bare bones, so you do have to use the versatility of the side, man. And like I said, for me, I've kind of emotionally checked out from this season anyways, but it's I hate to be that guy, but like Arsenal fans, is it fair to say, we've got a sense of I told you so where Arsenal's concerned? Jesus is in form. He can't be moved from striker. I hear you, but being devil's advocate, is he really in form? And don't get me mistaken, he had a fantastic game, obviously, against Crystal Palace in the League Cup. Obviously, he bagged at Selhurst Park. That's 2 games, though. I don't disagree, but is that form? Is 2 games form? Is 2 games enough for you to put Jesus in your FPL team for those that play it? I'm just asking. I'd rather see Havertz right wing. No. Chill out. I'd definitely rather move Jesus over there, man. Not gonna lie, I feel like Arsenal should pay Sesko's release clause, and also Happy New Year, DG. Happy New Year right back at you. It's a summer thing, really. It's a summer thing in them kind of moves. Big up, DG. Happy New Year right back at you. I want to see Jesus as the 9. I don't mind it because at the same time, today, I'm not against Kai Havertz in midfield because of what we know with Brentford. And I know it's easier said than done, but the reality is all of these players, regardless of where they're playing, they got to step up. No, not really hard to defend Jesus. There you have it. I'm not dissing Jesus. I'm just saying, is that form? Like, is 2 games form? And I'm really not trying to boy him. I'm just asking, is 2 games form? Because then if 2 games means you're in form and we can't move you, and like I said, I agree with you lot, the bar's on the floor. Mike, Happy New Year right back at you. Martinelli, Odegaard, Trossard, Jesus all have had 15-goal seasons in the past as well. As signings, these players need to find their goal scoring again regardless. I agree with that, but I think Trossard can. I think I've accepted Trossard's a rotationary option. Martinelli, you don't know me. I love Martinelli to bits, but I'm starting to feel last season was an anomaly. Not last season. The season he had before that, where he got the double figures, was an anomaly. So we're kind of at where we're at. Gabriel Jesus, please keep going, but 2 goals. I want Jesus sold immediately and replaced with David, but the guy's in form for now. Hopefully he scores again. I'm not replacing Jesus for Jonathan David. Like Jonathan David, stay from my club. I like him though. When will we have an honest conversation that Martinelli isn't that good? Martinelli's a squad player, but I'm with Martinelli to the end, man. If we buy Marmoush and Kudus in this window, I feel like we have a great chance to win the Champions League. Please, Arsenal, don't disappoint for once. You're dreaming, man. With Kudus and Marmoush, one of them would be a movie. Both of those. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I always find when us fans say one particular player is going to win us the Champions League, it's a bit naive, you know. I don't think Jesus necessarily needs to stay down the middle, but we should put him on the pitch while there are positive signs from him. I hear that. We need a winger and a forward, really, but it's going to be a summer thing. And then we'll probably end up needing another one on top of that with some unexpected exits. Am I bugging for taking Coleman, proven winner? I wouldn't say you're bugging because we need players, but I don't think Coleman is the worst of options. But I swear he always picks up injuries, man. He always picks up injuries, so it doesn't make sense with the Arsenal text. Bro, with where we want to be, Martinelli isn't the answer. Bench thing, lap for Brazil, roll it, rollins. Like, man, listen, trust me. Keep the faith in Martinelli. I know. I'm not giving up on Martinelli. I'm really not. I'm not. I'm with Martinelli to the end, man. He decision-making frustrates me. I don't know what's going on with him, but that's my guy, man. Happy New Year, DG. What is your ideal realistic January transfer window? Saka replacement, bring me. I don't know for realistic. I'm not a transfer man, but I would love Lyon's Ryan Cherky. Hato and David coming in without us selling anyone would find us a trophy and get us 1 round further in the UCL. I mean, Hato's a young, talented, but young boy where you start talking about semi-finals and maybe finals of champs. Jonathan David, I don't know. I'd rather Ryan Cherky, but that's a Golva guy is kind of lit, man. Would you take Cherky? I said it, man. Off the ball, he needs to work, bro. He needs to work. He needs to. I say it with Cherky all the time. His talent is up there, but talent's got you to where you are. If you really work, you really, really, really want it, I think the world's his oyster. And yeah, you're right. Off the ball, all of that kind of jazz. I don't know why Adobe Creative Cloud has said Happy New Year, but Happy New Year, Adobe. And to you, look. The unfortunate thing with Martinelli is that we don't play to his strengths. If he played for a Klopp side, he's scoring 20 plus per season. That is true, but at the same time, brother, end of the day, you're still playing football, man. This is for me with Martinelli, it's just decision making. You're still getting in there, and even when, like, I think it was the press conference, it might have been it might be Brentford, or it might be before that. But Mikel Arteta was sitting there and saying he needs to be involved in the final actions. You don't necessarily see that on the left. There are options, but the club will have to force one. I actually think Nico Williams is one of the most likely due to the release clause. Yeah, but he's on big wages. He's playing in Europe with his boyhood club. Does he want to leave mid-season? Hato is the essential DG. I have him higher on the priority list than signing someone for right wing. I hear it. With Martinelli, I've accepted his limitations as a player. He's not a top-class wing. He's just a quick winger who's going to get 8-9 goals a season. Nelly can still come good. He's still really young, in fairness, and has shown it before already. I hear that, but for me, you're 23 now, and it's the decision-making. I've said it 2 years ago. I said Martinelli's either going to go up the gears and keep going up the gears at the time, or he's going to play like this. I genuinely believe if you don't do that, this is how Martinelli's going to play for the rest of his career, whether it's at Arsenal or elsewhere, but he has great goal-scoring seasons or not. We need Rice and Partey starting today. If that means Havertz drops to the bench, then so be it. Arteta won't drop his blue-eyed boy, though. I'm not going to cap. I'm not dropping Havertz for Brentford. I'll be real. He has to play today. He has to. And whether I like Kai Havertz or think he's the guy or not, if I'm being real, and it probably is a damning verdict on where we are, smash the like button as a club. Kai Havertz, excluding Saka, is probably our second most reliable player that plays in that front three. I love Martinelli. I can't say you're reliable. Trossard, you could fight that, but this season not really been the case. Jesus, 2 games. As much as I agree, he's in form, he's this and that. 2 games. And that's probably damning of where we are, man. DG, the way Sesko is performing at Leipzig, Arteta is going to get him for 40 million plus 2 bags of chips. DG, which left winger would you like Arsenal to sign? Left wing, I'm not sure, but I'd love Kudus or my man. If we are to get a right winger, then I need everyone to name 2 of the most gettable left footers that would be good for us for 5 years minimum. I hear it, man. That's a madness. Martinelli has the Grealish curse, just holding width and recycling the ball. Hey. We need to have some serious conversations about Philip Foden. We need to have some serious conversations about Jack Grealish the whole year. Think about how 2024 started for you. Some of you lot, I've had kids, have done, groundbreaking things. Grealish ain't scored. I don't make the agendas. I just follow them, But yeah, if I share my screen with you lot and we crack on, keep the comments coming, people. What a lovely way to start 2025 and this stream. Sammy Moat Bell. And I mentioned this because I think Arsenal, our transfer stuff is on loop. We always get told, war chest, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Then when we don't, we can't find the targets. They're not there. Yeah, what is it? We're treading closely to PSR. We're doing this, we're doing that. And it goes from having a lot of money to we ain't got nothing. Make your own conclusions on whether Arsenal can spend in January. Yes, money won't be an issue. Now, obviously, Sammy Moatbell works for the Daily Mail and does not work for Arsenal, but imagine that money won't be an issue. Money 100% will be an issue. But anyways, Arsenal are well within their PSR regulation constraints, meaning the restrictions they set on spending will be on their own. So yeah, we're right. Apparently, money isn't an issue for Arsenal this Jan, and the club are working well within profit and sustainability regulations. The only constraints on spending will be led by the Gunners' own means. So, long story short, what these are made available in it. And if we look at the actual article, let's try and skip through the tosh. But anyways, Arsenal finished 2024 as they started unbeatable and smashing in goals. They closed out the year with a run of 8 wins and 2. Respectfully, we know Saka has had surgery and we're at with Saka. Arsenal probably needed another forward with or without Saka in the second half of the campaign. But in the absence of their main attacking threat and with a chance of silverware in 4 competitions still, they will almost certainly need to go against the grain of most teams in recent years and bring in a top-class player in January. Fingers, toes, everything crossed. Here, as part of our series looking at Premier League clubs, January transfer plans, our Arsenal expert Sammy Moatbell answers the big 5 questions. What you got for us? What have you got for us? What do Arsenal need? Allegedly, Mikel Arteta is prioritizing a new attacker in the January window. There has been much more conjecture, I don't know what that is, or if I've even said that right, about whether Arsenal will look to keep their powder dry in January with a view to a heavy spree in the summer. But after Saka's surgery, Mail Sport understands the club are actively looking to sign a forward in the next month. As you can imagine, the club have been inundated with calls from reps offering their clients in the light of the Saka news. For instance, PSG's Randall Colomani, cheeky bugger, who has struggled for game time, has been offered to the Gunners. Arsenal in particular, Arteta aren't generally ones to veer away from their primary targets, but it's a case of needs must at the moment as they look to claw back Liverpool's lead at the top. That is expected to result in the club taking more of an open mind should an opportunity present itself. With Sterling and Neto already on loan from Premier League teams, we can't bring in another one on a temporary basis. But some say you can't. He hasn't said it there, but some say you can't sign. We can make another loan from outside of England, and some say obviously we can't. So that probably puts to bed the Rashford stuff. In addition to Saka's replacement, Arsenal want a new centre forward and are considering a central midfielder, depending on how Partey and Jorginho's futures develop. Both are on contracts that expire this summer. But deals for a striker and a midfielder are viewed as ones to execute in the summer window, with Arsenal's focus in January honed in on a wide forward. Don't think that's cool. Is that Colomani? Okay, you don't even look like yourself in that picture. Did they have money? Yes, money won't be an issue. The Cronkies have a long history of financially backing their head coaches across all of their sports teams and have spent heavily on acquisitions during Arteta's reign. That bit is true. While complying with PSR regulations remain a factor in terms of the level of expenditure, Arsenal are well within their constraints, meaning the restrictions they set on spending will be their own. Given they want to strengthen their forward line, that is good news. Top attackers are the most expensive on the market, but thankfully Arsenal can pay the going rate. Okay, so where's the players? Okay, here we are. Which players are they interested in? Nico Williams is a long-term target. I'm trying to skip through stuff. It says Nico Williams is a long-term target. He's got a release clause of near 50 million, which is well within our budget, but the wages. However, there's some doubt over whether the 22-year-old is willing to leave mid-season amid interest from all of Europe's top clubs. Barcelona have been heavily linked in the past. Apparently, Bayern Munich's Leroy Sané is also of interest to Arsenal, but at 28, his capture would not be viewed as a long-term investment, and he is playing regularly at the Allianz Arena. Real Madrid youngster Arda Güler has admirers at the Emirates, but the Spanish club view the 19-year-old Turkey international as an important part of the future. Like all top European clubs, Arsenal be in the market for buying Leverkusen attacking midfielder Florian Wirtz. Would love that, but that's a football manager thing, surely. Once the Germany attacker decides to leave, but Wirtz will have his pick of clubs with Bayern, Real Madrid, and Man City all interested. All right, I preferred Musiala anyways. I'm being a fool. In terms of a new 9, Isaac, Sesko, Cunha, and Buemo are all of interest, but getting any of those mentioned over the line in January proves difficult. Sesko turned down the Gunners in the summer, having been told they could not guarantee him a starting spot, while Isaac, Cunha, and Buemo are all vital to their clubs and near the peak of their values. I would love Isaac. I'd have all them names, really. I mean, bring me Mbuemo. I'm not against Cunha. I like Sesko. Isaac, we saw what we've seen what he's been doing. Who wouldn't want Wirtz? Not against Nico Williams. Not gonna cry if we get Sane, but who might leave? Injuries have left the squad stretched. In addition to Saka, you've got Ben White, Tomiyasu, and Sterling, who are all nursing problems. Calafiori, who is currently fit, also moves in and out of knee issues, which the club are managing. So don't expect any big departures in January. Fabio Vieira's long-term future at the club is in doubt, with the club ready to listen to offers for the midfielder. But with Vieira on loan at Porto, so that situation is unlikely to escalate in Jan. And there was some rumors you would have seen in the last 48 hours. He's going to return. He's not. Elsewhere, Tavares is also likely to leave at the end of the season. The 24-year-old is on loan at Lazio. There is an obligation for Lazio to sign Tavares permanently, provided certain conditions are met. Even if a full-time deal isn't triggered, Arsenal will look to sell Tavares. Okay, is anyone learning anything that we shouldn't know already? Like, I don't know, man. But what I do know about it with Nuno Tavares, I can never trust a defender that does not talk about defending. I'll never forget when Tavares signed for our club, and I went on Arsenal.com, and when you hear a defender, you want to hear something like, I like to keep clean sheets, I like to win 1v1s. He said, I like to shoot with my right foot. That said everything about Tavares. How we scouted him, don't know. But anyways, Marquinhos, who has returned from a loan at Fluminense, is also free to leave. Oh, he's crap. How did we go to Brazil and get him? Tini, love him, but he could also go. His contract is up in the summer, and he's been linked with a move to Celtic, people. So it all depends, man. Maybe an Odegaard type thing. I don't think we're going for one of them. Yeah, all 3 of those would be good. Big up yourself, Rico. If we sign Kolomani, then we're either gamblers or not serious. Trust me, forget all of that, bro. Forget Kolomani, bro. We don't need him. We do not need him. DG, what's your thoughts on Sterling happy to kick back at Arsenal and go back to Chelsea? It's a relationship of convenience, isn't it? That you're going to have to do that anyways, because Arsenal, if it worked how Arsenal wanted to work, how it worked out, we don't sign Raheem Sterling. Whether we tried to get Nico Williams, this one, that one, it never happened. Maresca walked in at Chelsea and said, listen, Sterling, you've got no future here. We were happy to take him. Chelsea gave us a deal that made sense, where we're not paying all his wages. It's a relationship of convenience. And respectfully to Sterling, for all of the, I don't think he's a bad player, but like, when have you heard the sporting director in Edu's case at the time say, to be fair, we didn't plan on signing him? That would rub me up the wrong way. So yeah, I know Sterling has worked with Mikel Arteta before. He's a Premier League proven player. Your Arsenal fans will always do that point to prove Arteta can get a tune out of him, and things can change. But just look at the minutes, because we are at that period in the season now. Yeah, of course, minutes adjusted and injuries are a factor. But if you want to see who's rated and who's not rated, you can, and regardless of what the manager says, we can all go in this day and age with the internet and see who's played what. Of course, excluding the certain other factors. Lewis Skelly's rated because obviously he's taking advantage of injuries, but we've seen you play ahead of certain more experienced players. Already Lewis Skelly's made more. I'm sure you've made more starts than Kivior. Kivior only makes starts respectfully when there's injuries. We know who's playing. Sterling, when you were fit, you weren't playing. You've really just taken Reece Nelson's role. Shout out young Lewis Skelly. His emergence apparently in Arsenal's team could see him jump up the levels from going from an England under-19 international all the way to the 21s, in which we'd love to see it, man. 2026 World Cup, you'd never know. You never know. I still wish he could play for Barbados still, man. I know you're going to play for England. And some of you lot remember when he actually trained with Barbados at 14. The Asians, we were onto it. RIP Grandad as well. So, yeah, man. Apparently, it'll be interesting to see if Arsenal... So, we ain't learned nothing. We've just heard a bunch of names. We know that there's injuries. We know the players that are going to cut. We know Lewis Skelly's great. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to get first-team football and maybe England caps and all of that. In fact, no, not even maybe. You're definitely going to get caps. We're speaking it into existence. But this last paragraph, it will also be interesting to see if Arsenal look to cut one of their Premier League loans to free up a space. Indications are that there's currently no intention to send Sterling back to Chelsea, but depending on what opportunities arrive, Neto's future could be revisited. So if we need to make a loan, we could cancel Neto's. I don't think that makes sense because then you're going to have to scramble for a goalie again. I mean, Neto, I can't, of course, beyond the obvious, Neto must be upset about not making his debut, but Raya's better than you, bro. You knew before you signed for Arsenal, you played in the League Cup, so that's dead. You might get opportunities in the FA Cup. I'm not sure with Man United, regardless, you want to do that. Champions League, forget about it, but you're going to be there. You're traveling, you're on the bench. Can you really complain, bro? Like, can you really complain? Can you really complain? Apparently, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Newcastle have all been issued a stark warning over their rumoured interest in Brentford winger and Buemo. I mean, what could we learn here? Thomas Franke said nothing will happen. And Brentford would have to be idiots. And we got to play them later, man. I'm scared of him. I'm really scared of Buemo. In January, I would say good luck. We love Brian. He loves playing here. He's had a fantastic season, so nothing will happen. Can't begrudge Brentford for saying that. Apparently, we've barged Liverpool aside in the race for Omar Marmoush, who's had a fantastic first half of the season. 24 appearances in all comps, 18 goals, 12 assists. You've seen him bag free kicks. I don't know if he's the answer. I don't know how good he is and how not. I don't watch him religiously, but I like his technical level. I like his showmanship. He's a very good dribbler. He's very good technically. And at 25, he might be something. He's been linked with Liverpool, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and the list goes on. Allegedly, we're in pole position, people. He's got a contract until 2027, so we are getting to that period where Frankfurt, you got to either give him a new deal or you've got a decision to make. Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Newcastle allegedly join Arsenal and being interested. Charles Watts has just echoed what we've already known, really, in that Arsenal genuinely have an interest in Cunha. Whether we're able to get him is another thing. He's echoed what we already know, in that Arsenal always reluctant to do business in January, but that's going to have to change. You're going to have to put big money down, man. You have to. They're in a relegation race. Like, this is why I'd love to sit here and, yeah, the Kuduses, the Cunhas, the Mbuemos, they're all vital to their team. So you either overpay and make them available or find alternatives. I like Bellingham's younger brother. Apparently, Man United and Arsenal are among a number of Premier League clubs monitoring the progress of Bellingham, who would be open to leave in Sunderland in the summer. That's naturally, it makes sense. English clubs want to find the next English stars. Doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to sign him or sign him, but that makes sense. Apologies, people. Arsenal are interested in goalkeeper Juan Garcia, but Espanyol remain insistent. The Spaniards' 25 million release clause is paid, whatever that means. Arsenal and Spurs are set to battle it out in the race to sign Crystal Palace left back Mitchell. This has nothing to do with Arsenal, but I wouldn't mind us trying for Manchester City's James McCaitry. I'm not saying he'll be like Cole Palmer, but he fits our philosophy, and you never know. They'll probably think twice. I really don't care about Marcus Rashford to Arsenal, but apparently Man United will listen to loan and permanent offers for most of their players. United are open to allowing Rashford to leave on a permanent basis or on loan. They want any suitor to pay his wages, 325 grand a week, although that is likely to just be a starting position in negotiations. You're not going to have to take a leaf out of Chelsea's book with Raheem Sterling. Forget about that, unless you go Saudi. Has anyone got hope that we'll sign Dani Olmo? Apparently, Barcelona have obtained an extra 3 days to register Dani Olmo. La Liga is giving its okay. Obviously, he's in a bit of a madness. And apparently, the decision made by Olmo is to stay at Barcelona as he wants to play for Barcelona. We are not considering any other option. Danny wants to play for Barcelona. So, yeah, the tabloid talks can leave us alone with that. This lad that's at Porto, people, I like him a lot, you know. I can see why Chelsea tried to sign him. There's no way I'm going to call him Samu. He's overperforming his XG, but this is probably expected. We've gone over Dani Olmo. No need to keep doing that. Depending on what opportunities arrive, Neto's future at Arsenal could be revisited. We've already gone through that. Thomas Partey has been linked with Barcelona as his contract is running down. Should we see what Mikel Arteta has said on the eve of us about to play Brentford? Not even the eve. We're playing them today, innit, people? on how the team can continue to grow to be competitive, we're going to have to prove it. What we've proven already this season, playing the amount of games that we played with 10 men, all the injuries that we've had in this squad, for sure, we weren't in that position that we are in today in all comps. So the team has made another step. The team is evolving and is adapting to new circumstances. And now we have another one, which is more games with less players. So let's face it. I mean, we've seen that the last couple of years now, Gaffer. But anyways, on Sterling's hunger, he was gutted because he had a good game against Palace. He could have scored 2 goals. He made an assist, and in the end, he got injured after one of the training sessions. That was his opportunity because naturally he would have played in that position. But knowing Sterling, I think he'll be back quite soon. On closing the gap with Liverpool, that doesn't depend on us. We have to continue to be like a hammer, be there every day, every day, every day. If someone wins all the games, congratulate them and let's go next season. But if they don't, which in history hasn't happened, we'll be there, hopefully. On a New Year's resolution, keep everybody fit. That's it. On Trossard's personality, they all want to play, always want to play. Leao, I think in the last 12 months, a lot more consistency. He has deserved that. He has played a lot of competition. He has a lot of competition in his position, so that it raises the level. He plays at the level. He will play like anyone else, but he has the capacity to do something special in the final third, which is true. With us, he's played as a left winger. He's played as a left attacking midfielder. He's played as a 9. He's a player I value a lot, and we value a lot because he's very versatile, very competitive, and he's always a massive goal threat for the team. So I'm happy for him. You know what, Trossard, you're getting 2 goals this week. You know, you're bagging against Brentford, and I need you to do what you did last year against your old team, Brighton. On his attitude, Leao naturally is a little bit of a moaner, why for that manager? But I like that because he's very competitive. You have training sessions, always busy with the referee's decision because he wants to win, and that's what I love. He wants to be the best, and when he's not out there, he's not happy, but that really pushes him. That's why he comes on the pitch. He makes an impact because he's got that drive and hunger. I'm going to show you, but I love that about him. I mean, when you said that, I just thought when he came off the bench and backed against Villa and he looked angry with you. On preparing for Brentford in a short space of time, full focus. Our minds have to be on what we have to do and recover, because not now only, but in the next 3 to 4 weeks, there are so many games in different competitions and we need to be right there. On Brentford, very tough. They're a really, really good team. When you see their record at home until last week, it's remarkable. They've evolved and adapted as well. The qualities in their team are because of the players they have. So I'm very impressed. On whether the team will need rotating, I don't know. We'll watch the Ipswich game back and then I'll watch the training session that we always do and feel it and have a feeling of what is best to start and what is the best team to finish the game in relation to what position is, to what the position is as well. An individual moment of each player. Okay, Gaff. I mean, that's for later. But boy, I see what they did there. Unbelievable home record. You know what? We'll get into that later. That's crazy. We finished 2024 of all Premier League teams. Arsenal and Liverpool came out on top in the calendar year, people, which I only care about winning a title, but we ain't got a trophy, so we got to flex this, essentially, people. And even when you look at it, shout out Alex, aka the different knock. We're the top 20. We're top of 20 teams in Europe's top 4 divisions. So the metrics are good, but trophies now, man. Across 2024, we scored 16 Premier League goals from corners. Love the one against Spurs. Love the one against Man United and anyone else who cries, people. We miss Saka so much. In 2024, Saka was the only Premier League player who both scored 5+ goals following a ball carry, 5, and assisted 5+ goals following a ball carry, 6. No clue what that means, but Saka propaganda. Arsenal kept the most clean sheets in the Premier League in 2024. They're most in a year since keeping 19 in 1999. The 25 goals they conceded was also the fewest in the Premier League and 24 fewer than they conceded in 2023. I think we regressed defensively generally, though. Team News and Ticks has said, I've been told there's no chance of that happening when speaking about Marcus Rashford. Wait, we only conceded 36 goals. That's our fewest total since 1990. So a bit conflicting data there, but propaganda. Anyone having Gyökeres? He finished his 2024 as the top goal scorer across Europe's top 10 leagues. Respectfully, top 10 leagues? Is there 10 top leagues? I'm not trying to boy anyone. His 52 goals this year put him 12 goals ahead of Lewandowski in second, Harry Kane and Haaland. Not me, but some people would say, right, but that's Portuguese league, though. Adrian Clark has said, Mohamed Kudus is a player that Arsenal have had a long-term interest in. He's the perfect Bukayo Saka replacement who can also do a job up front. Do you know something we don't? Let's make it happen, man. Make it happen. I ain't going to go over all of these stats now. We're definitely not. That's for later. Don't forget, people, we're watching Brentford later. We kick off at 5:30. I'll be live from 4:30. So that seems to be all the news, man. Let me get back into what you lot are saying. Money isn't an issue, followed by need to sell to buy. We know how it spins. Why can't Arsenal do business like Liverpool? Most players linked to Liverpool, they go within 24 hours. I wish I knew, man. So is Edu still in place, or do we have no DOF? We ain't got no sporting director. Edu's cut time ago. Like, he's on gardening leave. Like, we just got to make it happen. Is Sammy reliable? Not a clue, but I'd imagine he's a lot more reliable than some of the ITKs we see. Our board's ambition is to maintain Champions League. Simple. Nelly is a striker that is misprofiled as a winger. I disagree. I really do, because in the modern day, respectfully, what general player have you seen from Martinelli to suggest he's a striker? I like the illusion of him up front, but you're not good with your back to goal. You're definitely not the best dropping into midfield. Your channel play isn't the best in terms of what Havertz and Jesus do. I do think long term he could be a striker, but he needs a lot of work in his actual position, let alone up front, man. I disagree, man. I'm not sure for misprofile, but I wouldn't mind him turning into a Luis Suarez or Alexis Sanchez when he was playing as a 9. Kudus replacing Jesus would be nice. It would be. Apparently, some Arsenal players are fighting bugs. It's that time of year, man. Take your ibuprofen and let's keep it moving, man. Reese, happy New Year, right back to you. We have an interim board of directors. Damn. I can't see us signing Gyökeres. Makes too much sense to sign him. I think it's a myth. Need silverware means basically nothing, being the best team over a calendar year. Amen. Fans are going to want Partey to get an extension. I'm still peeved that we were just 2 million shy of signing Hazard. Petty pinching Wenger was his worst mode. MLS is the future DM. He's a direct heir to Jorginho, just with more athleticism, but that's 3 years away, probably. Boy, I'd rather just play Setford. I think we need to have someone a bit more experienced, if I'm honest with you. Nah, Inaki Williams, forget that. Hey, forget that. That's desperate, man. When you're hungry, anything on the table looks like food, man. Whether it's as a 6 or an 8, keep it up, MLS, man. Arthur? I haven't heard that name linked with us for a minute. Can someone tell me when Arsenal last got one of the hottest names? I'm reminded of Havertz and Matalinks. It's not really been our thing to get top talent. Wish I had an answer, man. Same you that lips his dog, can't trust him right there. Yeah, get Tavares out here. Rodrigo. Oh, yeah, there was something about Christopher Nkunku. Where is it gone? I had the link for it. Arsenal will also link with Christopher Nkunku, man. Let me, you know what? Big up whoever just said that. I don't know where it's gone. Nkunku, Arsenal. I really don't know. I had everything. Let's see that. Let's share my screen again, man. I don't believe the Nkunku links. Creative journalism. We keep shopping from Chelsea. He can't play for Chelsea at the moment in that. He can't buy a game. We need an attacker. We can't get him on loan. Could we buy him permanently? I'm not sure, man. Another one that loves injuries. But anyways, Chelsea start pushing for January transfer away. Arsenal seen as opportunity. Christopher Nkunku remains eager to leave Chelsea in the forthcoming January window. In my opinion, he's going to cut in the summer because they're going to sign a striker. Jackson's ahead of you, and there's bare other things going on, people. It's understood Nkunku's reps are currently exploring potential destinations for the 27-year-old, while Chelsea will not stand in the way of any player who does not wish to remain at Stamford Bridge. Court Offside understands that Arsenal are one of the clubs on Nkunku's radar as part of a potential deal, while another is thought to be PSG. He came through that academy. Pardon me, Maresca's talked about his importance, but again, we're at that point of the season where the manager can gash you, but if the manager says he believes in me, and of the 19 games, I haven't got 190 minute, I haven't completed 9 minutes, I ain't started, I'm always on the bench. It is what it is. So I don't really believe that. Romano has revealed what must happen for Chelsea to sell Christopher Nkunku in 2025. Skip through the tosh. It's important to clarify that internally at Chelsea, coaches, staff, Enzo Maresca, the board, the owners, they all want to keep Christopher Nkunku. They believe Nkunku is an important player for the project. But the only way for Nkunku to leave Chelsea in Jan is if a player goes to Chelsea and asks them to leave because he's not happy with his game time. At the moment, this, in brackets, Nkunku asking to leave, did not happen. So that's the situation at this point. But it's important to say the only way to change the situation is on the player's side. He's concluded apparently by saying if the player would be unhappy or change his mind, Chelsea would reconsider the situation. He's also been linked with Man United as well. I don't buy that. Of course, you know, Nkunku can play up front, play out wide. I think the 10 and the striker is his best thing. We bought players from Chelsea. We've got 2 Premier League loans already. Anything can happen, but I can't see Arsenal buying him permanently. It don't make no sense, people. And he's another one that's going to be an injury done. We'd love Rodrigo, but you're dream chasing. At this point, Arsenal marrying 304s because signing Nkunku is, oh my God, you're a madman. Who doesn't want Verts? Verts is, bro, whoever don't want Verts, are a madman. But I was saying back in November, why would we ever loan Galerd? That deal makes 0 sense. Maybe it could be the Odegaard thing. We get a man on loan, talk to them in the summer, get them permanently. But if that is not the thing, what's the point? What is the point? We have no clue what Arsenal do in the transfer market. I hope for the best. I agree with that statement, but I'd also say I prepare for the worst. Like in my head, mentally, I expect nobody to be signed, whether I think it's logical or illogical. So anything else is a bonus. I've to a degree, I've learned to kind of detach, man. I love the club and all of them things, but it's the hope that kills in life, man. Christopher Nkunku is better than any Arsenal attacker. Yes, even our starboy. I'll take your word for it, man. You watching any EFL games today? Nah, only Brentford, man. Happy New Year, Jay. I really feel like we are not winning major trophies this year, and we should not focus on whoever we are not going to sign, but rather who should be the new manager and sporting director. Work on those. I'd go for Almo. He can play 10 out wide. Should have got him in the summer, but my man wanted Barca. Can we please not do the save the blue thing this transfer window? I swear the last 3-4 windows we have got someone from Chelsea. We love it, man. And Nkunku, Arsenal needed an attacker who can score 18 plus. No way Arsenal sign him, not even a number 9. Creative journalism, man. Easy clicks. Easy clicks. Just linking Arsenal players. Man said MLS come Wales. And man, forget playing for Wales, man. Happy New Year, Oliver. Happy New Year, Malcolm. And yeah, they gave Cunha a two-match ban and an 80,000 fine. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. To be fair, you could reckon he got off lightly. Arsenal just doesn't feel you either any excitement during transfer windows. Yeah, man. Like I'm more than happy to go through the news with you, lot to debate it and speak about it. But hi, mate. Beyond that, I need to see players. What did Cunha do? I didn't see nothing off the side. I don't know, but allegedly he got into a bit of fisticuffs with an Ipswich coaching staff, pulled off his glasses. That's just, we need them kind of nasty players at Arsenal. I'll never lie to you, man. We've got nice guys. We need some S houses, if that makes sense, man. We really do. Even if we're linked Palmer, I wouldn't accept another player from Chelsea. You're chatting shit. Cole Palmer, come on, stop the nonsense. Forget that. Forget it. In this imaginary world, Cole Palmer. You're gonna say no to Cole Palmer because at Chelsea. Come on now, mate. Come on now, mate. Boy, you're better than that. If in this imaginary hypothetical world, if Cole Palmer wanted to sign for Arsenal, get that done. The same goes for Caicedo as well. You're chatting. Would you take Ahmad tomorrow? Osimhen still has his release clause. Let's not forget. I think the Osimhen one, we have to leave it alone. I can't see them doing it now. I might be wrong. Who am I? But I just don't think that's happening. No, not another Chelsea reject. I hear it. We're not going to get Nkunku in January. Weirder things have happened. You never know. But it's just creative journalism, man. It's just creative journalism. You're acting. If Chelsea was stupid enough to want to sell Cole Palmer, come to Arsenal. That don't make no sense. Would Cole Palmer improve us? Yes. If we had Cole Palmer, he'd probably be playing more inside the midfield, similar to the role he's doing now. But you could stick him out there ahead of Saka, in place of Saka. That makes no sense. Just because he doesn't play for Chelsea, like he had Chelsea pass, that don't make sense. You're normally smarter than that. There's no logical reason for that with Cole Palmer. That's just tribalism. And tribalism normally leads to nonsense. Look at the Liverpool fans on social media. Oh, Trent isn't a legend anymore. Come on now. Moise Keane having a good season, but not for me. You're going to be live later for the game as well, DG. You know it, man. Leroy Sané's contract expiring in the summer. You, man, should go and reincarnate his career. Not every day, Captain Save a Hole, man. Not every day, man. Not every day. Sometimes just find some players that are lit. Man. We are finished if we don't sign anyone, G. So many players, so many release clauses. Come on, Arsenal, man. DG, what do you think of Marmoush? We spoke about him. From what I've seen, bring him. I don't know if I'm the best Arsenal streamer, but I appreciate you for feeling that way, my dude, man. I appreciate that. Except Arteta's not signing those players. Arteta should have known about Cole as well and get him in for us. He was playing super well as a sub in City. I mean, I don't know how we fumbled the Cole Palmer one, but it is what it is. Kudus is actually suffering. How much would you pay for him? They're saying a madness, man. They're saying a madness. Ideally 60-odd million quid, but they're gonna want 85. I'd love to watch the Chelsea meltdown if we sign Palmer. Amen. Get 45 on Lookman's release clause. You got Lookman's another one though. Like surely that's the summer thing. His contract's running now. West Ham will probably ask for more than we paid for Rice, naturally, but yeah, man, you can't. I love Kudus, but you're not £100. You're not 100 million for me. Neither was Rice, and I didn't care. But can we get that for 60, 70? I want Kudus at the carpet, but we're dream chasing. Corner boys, you should patent that. Patent that better. Yeah, I should, you know. I should. Just came in to click the like and dip out. Bless my guy for that one. By Bakayoko. We've been linked with him. Allegedly, we've been linked with him. Vs is lit, man. Vs is lit. Nah, DG. If Chelsea are selling Palmer, then it's best not to touch him. Dead. I'm sorry. Cole Palmer, dead. I can't hear that. For the Raheem Sterlings and Guy Havertz's and them lot for Cole Palmer. Come on, boy. It's not making sense what you're saying there. I can't lie to you. You're being wrong and strong, but I hear that. But on that note, though, people, just shy of an hour, I must admit, I'm hungry. So I need to leave you lot to go and get my breakfast, people. And then, obviously, we cook off at 5:30, so I'll be live at 4:30. If I didn't say it, Happy New Year once again. Appreciative to have you lot tuned in my first live stream. And I'll see you lot where the watch-along's concerned, man. Arsenal, if you need a player, I know who you should shout, man.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.